TBI Uncovered, the platform that allows traumatic brain survivors, those with brain injuries, brain conditions, the wheelchair community, caregivers, medical professionals, our organizations, and anyone suffering brain injuries to share their stories and provide tips and resources to those impacted. Today, I have a special guest. He's a playwright and outcome author, and most of all, he's a survivor. So I'm going to bring him in, let him introduce himself.
Hi,
Where are you?
I'm doing glorious today. You're
Good.
glorious.
I love you. I love how you said it. Glorious.
That's absolutely it's the word.
Glorious.
It's you can't help but feel positive when you say the word
That's right.
glorious.
That's right. So now our roles are reversed. So now I'm interviewing you versus you interviewing me.
Yes.
So can you start by introducing yourself, saying where you're from, and diving into your story?
Yeah. So name is Will Carter. Originally from Roswell, Georgia. I am married to a wonderful woman. Have a beautiful daughter. Actually, starting my dream job in the fall
Oh,
as a full-time lecturer of English. It's amazing. In fact, I was on a phone call earlier today, getting advice on sort of the next steps of things. Now that I got this book contract, I'll say that. Shout that out. Shout out Springer Mountain Press.
yeah.
Anderson. They are agreeing to publish my book, and I was talking with
Awesome.
my friend, and he's like, "Sounds like everything's working." I was like, "Yeah, all the dreams are like coming true." So yeah, and I think the thing is, and dreams for me, and I'll say the memoir is about my first 7 months of recovery after a brain injury, which I was like, you know what, that'll serve as a great segue into. Always look for those good conversational segues.
Yeah.
Into my story. So I was a senior in high school. It was 2007. I was driving back from work at Shane's Rib Shack, and my 95 Honda Accord was in a head-on collision with a Suburban. And the Accord doesn't win that battle. I suffered a subdural hematoma. I suffered a stroke in my occipital lobe. I suffered a collapsed lung, a ruptured spleen. And then when I went to the ICU, they put me in a coma. First they took out part of my skull. I had the cranioplasty, so it's not there anymore. But they did the craniotomy, took out part of my skull, and then they put me in a coma, and I was in a coma for about 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And then I woke up to honestly, I encourage you and everyone out there watching to look the song up. The song is Chicago by Sufjan Stevens. And if you're going to wake up from a coma, this is movie level soundtrack. It's got a full orchestra in it. And it really, but it's actually awesome because the lyrics are so perfect because there's a line there that says, "All things go, all things grow to recreate us." I wake up and I'm a whole new person, and then I go from there to Shepherd Center. I do outpatient till December, and then I do inpatient. Until December, and then I do outpatient after that until about April.
Okay.
And yeah, by the grace of God, I was able to graduate college, and I'll graduate high school, then go on to graduate college, go on to graduate grad school, and then grad school again. So,
just
accomplishment. It got, and it's.
I can't see our blessings.
Oh gosh, absolutely. I guess that's the thing. I guess I shy away from the word accomplishment just because I just feel so blessed.
Yes.
That I was able to do it, and not able to do it outside of grace of God.
That's right.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's this thing. I don't know if you experience this, but I experience this thing all the time where it's like I struggle with like, oh wow, look at what you've done,
Mhm.
because I'm like, like,
Mhm.
yeah, I put in a lot of work, but like also
Yeah.
like,
God's power also helped it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like
That's how it did. Yeah.
this is the God made it happen.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I used to struggle with that too. Like people say, "Congratulations!" Like, thank you, but it's just a weird type of it's a weird space to be in. I mean, granted, you did do the work, but God gave you the grace to be able to do the work.
yeah,
So
and gave me the people to support me.
yes.
Because that's the other thing is, as an educator, I see it all the time. Students without support.
Mm.
And so I'm like, I know that I'm blessed.
Yes. Yeah,
You know?
God have favor in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, what was in your mind when you were told, Will, you got a brain injury?
So, well, it's a weird thing because I think like I, in fact, I was actually looking at this section of a memoir recently.
Mm.
It's so true. I because an aspect of my brain injury it
Mm-hmm.
was my memory.
Mm-hmm.
I kept forgetting that I had a brain injury.
Mm.
At least at first.
Okay.
Like I kept being like, why am I here? Why am I in the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's also like I was also on coma drugs, so
You
my
said
brain,
coma. You said coma drugs.
yeah, what they like
Oh,
what they do to put you into a coma,
right. Yeah.
and so I was such a foggy place. I remember, I guess one of the things that I really had to grapple with, that I struggled with, is like when I first heard that I had a brain injury. I think when I was first like cognizant at a place, I remember like feeling down and
Mm.
depressed, but then also feeling, all right, I'm gonna get over this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get back to where I was. I'm gonna be, this is a bump in the road. Um, while also feeling like my life is ruined. It's this weird thing of feeling both things
Yeah.
at one time.
Same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's hard to say that it was like a like this is what I felt, because it was like I felt both the depression of feeling like, oh my gosh, all of my plans, everything is over,
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
coupled with like the denial of like, nope, I'm gonna get over this. This ain't gonna stop me.
Yeah.
Um, which I don't think either one was healthy. Like I'm all for like achievement beyond your injury.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
saying that, but it's saying like I don't think it's healthy to want to then want to be. So I wanted to be my old self, and
Yeah.
I want to be the person with a brain injury.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I get you. I wonder if I had moments like that. 'Cause I think for me, I don't know if I didn't think anything.
Mm.
Like it was all like I can't say a blur because I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything happened. So it's like well, obviously something had happened because I was in the hospital, but I didn't have any idea that I had a brain injury.
Hmm.
I didn't. I wasn't told he had a brain injury. This would happen. No. So wow.
And that's why I say when I first became like, I'm just thinking like, and this is, I guess, many times after I knew I had a brain injury. I'm thinking like the
Mhm.
first time I was conscious, because I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if I was really processing that I
Mhm.
had, like,
Mhm.
what it meant to have a brain injury.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Uh,
were you like told by the doctors, hey, well, you got a brain injury, or did your parents say you? Who
my
told
parent,
you?
I think it was my family. Um, their doctors may have, but like I said,
You don't remember that part.
I remember, I remember having a conversation with my mom about like I forgetting why am I here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Mm. So
Um,
see, you could talk.
yeah, so I could talk. I had a
Okay.
trach in at first, but they took it pretty soon out after I woke up. and I could talk.
Okay.
In fact, that's how they knew. Well, I will say that's one of the aspects they knew that my personality wasn't affected.
Hmm.
Um, the other aspect, and I'll share. It's totally random, maybe totally random story, but in high school I was I'll be honest, I'm still left of center politically,
Mm-hmm.
but I was very, very, very Democrat
Mm-hmm.
as a 16-year-old, very much anti George Bush.
Okay.
And the way they knew my personality was affected, I could only do thumbs up, thumbs down because I still had it in.
Hmm.
But they said, what do you think of what do you think of Hillary Clinton? I said, one thumb up. What do you think of John McCain? One thumb down. What do you think of Barack Obama? Two thumbs up. And they said, what do you think of George Bush? And I just went. They said, okay, he's back. He's still because after a brain injury, your personality
Right.
can be impacted. But then the
It,
other
it
thing,
can shift, yeah.
but then of course, once my trait got out, and they're like, oh, he's still talking a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah. So did you go through any like therapy? Like, did you even have speech therapy or any physical therapy, occupational therapy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Once I got with the stroke, left side weakness. So my hand had a tendency to go up.
Mm-hmm.
I walk and very, very tight. So I had to work on my left hand, also vision
Mm-hmm.
was an aspect because I lost a fourth of my vision as a result of the injury. Well, I was gonna say the stroke, but
Okay.
I have a fourth vision in my left eye, and then this left side is weaker, so my left eye is weaker. So occupational, definitely. Physical, definitely. I was in a wheelchair
Mm-hmm.
when I got I definitely had to go through physical therapy, and speech therapy was more about memory and like
Okay.
organization and like reading, like more of the cognitive side.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have any speech impacts as a result.
Okay. Did you have any? You say you had glasses afterwards. So did you wear glasses before your injury,
I
or?
did, I did
Okay.
wear glasses before my injury, but I didn't have like I didn't have any like so sometimes the left eye will it'll drift,
Mm-hmm.
because it'll go a little bit lazy. Um, I didn't have that problem before, and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the fourth of vision loss. I had astigmatism, and I wore my glasses sometimes. Uh, so I was really bad about wearing them.
And how long did you have physical therapy?
I had physical therapy all the time inpatient, all the time outpatient. So tell about that April, and then I did something called, well, I was able to make it happen with my former rehab place, Shepherd Center. Shout out Shepherd.
Mm-hmm. Shout out
Uh,
to you.
I was able to was doing a personal trainer when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and stylized workouts to sort of help me with the issues of my injury. And then I did something called Beyond Therapy in my last year of college, trying to, because I still have physical limitations, and I was trying to get
Mm-hmm.
over that. Yeah.
So do you have like flashbacks about the injury itself, like how it occurred? Do you have any dreams about it, any flashbacks or anything like that? Or any triggers, quote unquote, that may affect you?
Funny you should say that. I also just realized how crazy my hair is. Sorry. Uh,
Right?
is I was talking about this today. So the way my memoir is, it's based on my memory, broken and wrong as it is. And I was telling, originally there was a chapter on my accident,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a very vivid memory of a woman coming to see me when I was in the Shepherd Center,
Mm-hmm.
and her saying, "I was with you after your accident. I prayed for you. I held your hand until the ambulance arrived."
Mm-hmm.
I have received confirmation from my mother and others that did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
That woman does not exist.
Wow.
That is a fabricated memory, but I have it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, is that a coma dream? I don't.
Wow.
Is that my subconscious trying to cope with it?
I don't know. It's
You know,
interesting. It's a question.
yeah. So I don't know. And then I really don't know about dreams, because I will say this. I remember my freshman year of college, which was about, a year after my accident and some change.
Mhm.
I had a roommate who, it's going to sound super creepy, but he was trying to show me like how I sound like I'm dying when I sleep.
Oh.
Because I CPAP, but he's like, yeah, man, something was happening. You just were saying no, 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 no.
Hmm.
And then my wife has said, like I sometimes have like that. And so is that, I don't know. And then
Gotcha.
triggers though, I don't know, not necessarily. I try to get back to driving and stop doing that. And for me, I think driving was a little bit of that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I have more triggers about my injury that I guess this is not good, but can get me to anger or frustration
Mhm.
than do about necessarily the accident. And I think that's the coma drugs.
Right.
They wipe that memory.
Yeah. Gotcha. So would you say you've accepted what was, meaning your injury, and now it is your life now? Would you say you accepted it?
I'm hesitant to use the word acceptance. I'm at the best place with acceptance than I've ever
Okay.
been.
Okay.
For me, in my experience, it's like a continuum.
Hmm.
You get closer to it, but you still have days of being like
Oh, yeah.
really frustrated. Like if I forget something major, or
Mhm.
I can't, like my left hand, I can't get a button or something.
Hmm. You were
Like,
frustrated.
oh my gosh, it's like, and then you go like,
Just
you
little
know,
things, little few
yeah,
things.
I just come on, just work, body, work, just
Yeah.
do what I
Yeah.
want you to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm the closest I've ever been.
Okay. That's what
And I think the thing for me is it's been, I started telling my story.
Mm. And it's still within itself.
And I think the thing is like, I don't know if you've experienced this. Well, I know that you have. I'm sure you have. I've seen your content, so I'm sure that you've gotten this response. But it's like getting messages from people saying like, I have a brain injury. I felt so
Mhm.
alone, and
Mhm.
your videos help me feel less alone.
Yes, I have.
And you're like, for me, I'm now like, I wrote this today. I'm grateful for it.
Hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that like I think I've said this. I may have said this before. I may have said this at our interview, but like Anderson Cooper interviewed Stephen Colbert about the death of his father and his
Mm.
two brothers. And Stephen Colbert said, I am most grateful for the thing I wish did not happen most.
Mm.
Um, because of like sort of what God had done through the death of his brothers and his death of his
Mm.
dad. And I feel the same way about my injury.
Gotcha.
I am most grateful for
I'm
this.
I'm most grateful for the thing that happened.
He's most great, like the thing that he wished did not happen most. So the thing for losing,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah. So he lost his dad. I can't,
Hmm.
forgive me, Colbert. It's a dream of mine to be on your show. So forgive me for forgetting
Yes.
the exact. But I think he
Having a
was
show.
10 years old, and his dad and two brothers died in a plane crash.
Okay.
And obviously, at that age, it's like the thing he wished did not happen most.
Mm.
But because he's seen what has happened as a result of it, like what God has done with it,
Mm.
he's now most grateful for that
Before.
thing.
I love that. I love that. And I had the same sentiment, so I get that. I felt that one.
Yeah, and
I
it's
felt that.
like,
I felt that.
and I was not there
Mhm.
for so long,
Mhm.
and then I've just not just the Instagram. I've taught 2 students with brain injuries.
How cool is that?
Oh my gosh, it's the best. And I got an email from one of them, and she was like, "Thank you so much." And she's in a little playwright group that I run,
Mhm.
and she was an amazing student. I got much love for her.
Mhm.
But she said, "Thank you for helping me feel comfortable and
Mhm.
confident with my brain injury."
Mhm.
Like,
It's big.
you can't beat that.
It's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who me? Who me? I did
So,
that.
yes, you get it. You get it. It's not,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
also,
You don't feel worthy, but it's like God used you to talk to her, get through to her. So.
but you get it. And that's where it's
Yeah.
like, I guess I am
Oh,
always
yeah.
like pushing away the compliments or something,
Yeah.
because I'm like, who, me?
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. I used to be the same way, like, but now I learned to embrace it.
Mhm.
Just accept it, and because God is using you, and it's okay that God uses you in that way. So.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
guess, but it's a feeling of gratitude
Absolutely.
to God to say, because I, it's not it's not necessarily insecurity,
Hmm.
but it is a realization of my total dependence on Him,
Absolutely.
that I go, thank you. Like, the fact that you would choose me
Yes.
to do this,
Yes.
nothing but gratitude.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. So, I guess that would be a most gratifying thing that you have been told and have achieved, quote unquote achieved. Is that the same?
So, I mean, well, I mean, I'll say, well, yeah, I was gonna give the joke, but this is the truth. I mean, the most gratifying thing is, being a husband and a father
Okay.
is that's the tops. I mean,
Okay.
my daughter the other day put her head on my shoulder and said, she's
Oh.
19 months. She put her head on her shoulder and said, "Love, Daddy." Um,
Oh.
yeah, you mean you can't beat that,
How special is that? Yes.
but I mean, um, it's for me, it's moments like, and I credit my brain injury to this, is I feel like, because I suffered some mental health, I suffered depression and stuff. I think,
Hmm.
like a lot of brain injury
Oh
people.
yeah. I've been
Uh,
myself too. So yeah.
yeah, but I am very sensitive to my students' mental health,
Mhm.
and I think I credit that. I mean, I'd like I'd like to say I'm an empathetic person before my accident, but I
Mhm.
definitely credit my injury and my struggles with the fact that I have students who regularly will open up to me about it. So, like, for me, it's like the greatest thing is having a student I can feel comfortable about her injury. The
Mhm.
greatest thing is having a student who is in counseling now because they
Mhm.
talk. The
Yeah.
greatest thing is being able to say, "Hey, I've got a friend of mine who works in the counseling department at our school,
Mhm.
and I'm going to have her get in contact with you." And the greatest thing is that student saying, "I'm talking to somebody now because of her."
Hmm.
Like, like that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the greatest thing.
I
Uh,
get it.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, because I was tight, because like the memoir, I would be tempted, but then I was talking with this mentor friend of mine, and he said, "It's not about the money.
Hmm.
It's when somebody gives you an email or says, your book helped me get through life."
Yes. It's just your heart.
Well, yeah, you understand. You're a writer.
Oh yeah. Write it to writer. I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
It's all. I mean, it's
It
all
can
about
affect me. Yeah.
different.
Definitely. I agree with that. So let's move over into your your video series, side
Yeah,
effects of a brain injury.
yeah.
We beyond you having injured yourself. What also did something else inspire you to do those videos, or when what all how did that come about?
Well, so and here's the thing, and I'll give it all away. But I was shopping this memoir around, so I wrote this memoir in end of 2020 is when I was finished with it, December of 2020, and I was sending it out to agents, and I was getting responses of like, "Oh, this is good, I like this, but you need a platform. You don't have enough of a platform."
Mhm.
And so I was like, somebody's like, try Instagram. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I just started writing and being open about my injuries. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. And then
Mhm.
what's awesome is this has become so much bigger
Mhm.
than anything to do with a platform.
Oh yeah.
That's what's like, it's for me now, it's about the audience and having like so many people who are just saying like, I have a brain injury and I needed this.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh,
Powerful.
yeah, and I mean, it's the best because
Mhm.
it's the most isolating injury to have
Yes, it is. Yes, it
because
is.
nobody can understand
Yeah. Yeah.
um, what it means to have your whole brain. Did you experience that?
Well, I didn't really understand it at all. Like, I'm probably just now. I was like, well, I won't say just now, but I think the more I dive into more brain injury things, the more I'm kind of learning more and more about it, and it has been hard to deal with. It's kind of like, wait, so it's just a very complex part of your body that controls everything, everything, emotions, everything. So it's just like for this to be impacted, it's like it blows your mind. It's really mind blowing to even think that. For me personally, that could bounce back with something that was so our people was like, I don't know, it'll come back from that. But to see how what I'm doing, it's amazing. I amaze myself. I'm not amazed at God because I know God can do big things. I mean, it's amazing. He can do all things are possible through Him. But it amazes me to see um, come to fruition before my eyes. I guess you could say to see it
Yeah,
kind of fast in so many words. So I'm always amazed to like, wow, like
what God is doing,
right, yeah, like wow.
and I mean, and it is, and I think, and the other thing is nobody. It's like you feel like nobody understands it.
Hmm.
And the response I've gotten from my videos is, uh, and people that what you're saying is not just true of a brain injury; it's just true of trauma.
Hmm.
It's just
Hmm.
and it's what they mean is like the issue of trying to move because it's my thing, my big message because it's the thing that I wish I could send back to my younger self
Hmm.
is stop focusing all of your mental energy on getting better.
Hmm.
Like you need to love who you are
Hmm.
today.
That's powerful.
Because
Hmm.
I don't know about for you, but like after my injury, I was like, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get back to who I was.
Yeah, the bounce back to like you said who you were. So
Yeah, and I'm gonna be and then that's damaging because then you're never loving yourself today.
yeah, you come now. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I think my focal point was like you said, getting back on my feet.
Hmm.
I was just so focused on just getting, like I said, getting better, and not really taking account to be in the present and be in the moment with my situation.
Always in tomorrow.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you can't. And then today has no value because it's not
That's true.
tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like I think about today, but I'm thinking about next year. Like
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
being in the moment. Yeah.
yeah. And to me, it was always the thing is like when I'm better.
When I'm better, not
And
now,
yeah,
but when I'm better. Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem, like I said, is I don't know this word. I said these words, and again, this is like who me, but
Mm-hmm.
this friend I was talking to today. You know what? I'll shout him out. I won't. He won't
Yeah,
mind.
shout them out.
AVM's. Well, you might know him. You probably do,
Who
because
is it?
AVM superhero.
ABN superhero.
If you don't
Who's
know him,
it?
you if you don't, you should. He's Greg Graham.
He's amazing.
What?
I'm sure he's amazing.
He is amazing. He's an amazing man. I give if you have not, give him a follow. He's a good guy, good friend. But he, who I actually met through this whole Instagram business.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but a friend of mine put him in touch with me when I was like, I'm trying to build a
Mm-hmm.
platform. But we were talking, and he said, you blew my mind with like, you're a beautiful creation of God. You're you're beautifully and wonderfully made.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I never thought of myself that way,
Yeah. And to have people encourage you also helps you on your recovery journey as well. That's also healing within that.
and it helped me believe it
Mm-hmm.
to encourage other people
Absolutely.
to believe it.
Yeah. And
That's
so when you do your side effect videos, are all those side effects you've been through yourself, or you just do them because you know people go through them too, or is it a mixture?
so for me, because TBIs are so unique and specific,
Mm-hmm.
I try to do side effects that I know.
Okay. So have you been through those things, or
Oh,
you just don't know
absolutely,
about them?
all of them, all of
Okay.
them. Every single one is based
Mm-hmm.
in, and that's kind of like sometimes it's hard with the side effects. I was like, okay, let me think of a side effect that I know that I haven't talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to, I don't want to speak on something that I don't know.
You don't know about, yeah. I
Yeah.
get that. I get
Well,
that.
yeah. And so there's definitely some side effects that I don't, um,
Yeah.
like for me, speech was not impacted. And then for me, like, even though I walk with a cane, I still have mobility. So there are
Mm-hmm.
certain, other things that I can't speak on. And I don't feel like I want to leave that to somebody else.
Yes.
You know,
So one thing I love that you said in one of your videos, I believe it was you're talking about acceptance. I want to say, and you said accept the process of completion, see the beauty in your struggles today. The beauty is being revealed, and the beauty is being revealed, and the beauty to be revealed. I love that. I say yes, yes, Will, yes, 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 yes. You hit on the nail. I say
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Well,
I
thank
mean,
you.
yeah,
That got
that inspired me. Yeah,
so no, who me?
it did touch me. Yeah, that really inspired me. Like, yeah, yeah,
Well, I
that's
appreciate
really good.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. It's hard, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yes. You know, I know.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely know. You definitely know. It's well, because somebody messaged me and they said, "So when did you come to acceptance?"
Hmm.
And I said, "I'll message you. Uh, I'll let you know." Uh, but I mean, like I said, but like it is too like, oh my gosh. Again, what you said, like when we can stake count and see what God is doing through us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I know for you, like, you're absolutely crushing it.
Mm.
Um, I know for you, your heart is inspiration.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and are you seeing you're seeing the beauty?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. 100%. I get it now. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
That's
I
beautiful.
get it.
No, and I'm
Mm,
touched. Thank
I
you
get
for.
it. Mm, I
I don't know.
get it.
Again, I'm who me. That's what I like
Yeah.
that you said that because that's what
Yeah.
you said. Your words inspired me, and I'm like, who me?
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. So, when can you talk about your book? When can you expect it to come out? When is it going to be available to purchase?
So, well, just got the acceptance. I'm working on the dates here.
Okay.
So, in fact, that was something I got to do today is follow up about when it will be out.
Mm-hmm.
My hope is within the next, fingers crossed, it would be great if we get it within the next 6 months,
Okay.
uh, possibly next 9, but I know that it's coming soon.
Okay.
I mean, for me, the sooner the better,
Okay.
because I know what God is gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the thing is like, and again, trying to put me down here
Mm-hmm.
and him up here is like, God put it on my heart to write this book.
Absolutely.
And I, all I want is to give people who have TBIs what I wish I could have heard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love that.
yeah,
I love
because
that.
well, I mean, because when you have the TBI, it's no one no one can speak to it, no one knows,
Mm-hmm.
and for the longest time, my theme song was uh, shout out to this band, the Mountain Goats. They're one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
This is not necessarily a good theme song to have, though. It's This Year. And the chorus is, I'm going to make it through this year if it kills me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just, I'm going to make it through this year if it kills. I'm going to make it through this year if it.
I get it. Yeah.
And then, but now I'm like,
Meaning no matter what.
no matter what, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what, no matter what. But then it's like, when you stop focusing on yourself, was
Mm-hmm.
what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Start focusing on other people.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's why I'm like, so like this book, like, yes, I wrote it, and yes, I am super excited to get it out there.
It's not for you necessarily.
No,
Yeah.
I can't wait for
Mm-hmm.
others to read it. And
Get back to you. I'm excited to read it. So
yes, we got
yeah.
one, we got one.
Yeah, because I remember I have my first draft written for mine. Now I'm nowhere near. Well, I wasn't nowhere near done, but like I know I have to go back and revamp some things. But I'm just glad that I got it out. So now I got to go to the next phase or whatever. But I'm just like a big weight off my shoulders. So like I got it out. I got it done. Like my goal was to get done by my birthday, and I accomplished that. So that's a big feat for me. So
Well,
yeah, snap, snap,
hey,
snap, snap. Yeah,
hey, snaps. And
little
I'm
snaps.
sure he won't mind a plug and a shout out.
That's right.
Um, uh, Springer Mountain Press when you're done, because they're good people, and they got one TBI memoir. I'm sure
Okay.
they go for 2.
Okay. I'll check them out.
Yeah, no, and like, so for you, is it done?
Well, my first draft is finished.
Oh,
Yeah, this the
so you
first
got
draft is, but I had to add a couple of things, but for the most part, it's pretty much never finished.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know how I'm on cover. I want everything. It's just I have to get the words in place, get things in order again. But I mean, it's pretty much done. It's pretty much done.
Congratulations.
The story's out there. It is what it is, and yeah, I'm very pleased. So yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, getting a manuscript done is
It's a big deal. It's a lot of work. And for me, it was so taxing, like emotionally taxing, because when I did my first book, I'm making a story. It's fictional. I'm having fun with it. Cool. This book, totally different. Totally different. Because it's me. It's
yeah.
my story. It's me. My real life. Like, so it's no games. It's just like I didn't take into account that it'd be this difficult, but yeah.
Well, and it's like, for me, it was like therapy.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you had this. I go, oh,
Hmm.
I didn't know that that's what that did to me.
I have a couple moments, yeah, a couple moments like that, yeah. Aha moments, yeah.
Yeah, and it just
Hmm.
been like, you're just writing it, and you just start processing it.
Yeah, that comes to realization, like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now I
Definitely,
get it. Yeah,
definitely. So,
yeah.
what's it like being a father with a disability?
What's it being like a what?
What's it like being a father who has a disability?
Yeah, it is. Well, there are challenges. I
Mhm.
don't drive, so
Mhm.
that's hard. I think it's hard for me. Like, there's certain things I'll never be able to do with her. And I know
Mhm.
that there's certain aspects of fatherhood that I'll never have,
Mhm.
and I feel guilty that
Mhm.
I can't do those things with Ellie, my daughter, who I'm hoping you cannot hear. She's having a little bit of a.
I heard her.
You can hear, okay.
Purchase, yeah.
She's having a
Oh,
little bit,
really. Mhm.
of a fit, but is as I feel bad that I can't do those things, but then
But it's not your fault.
it's not my fault.
No, it's your fault.
But then I also because I had to. I wrote this little thing that I had to process.
Mhm.
To say a letter from a disabled dad to his little girl.
Oh.
Yeah, I have it. I have it. Well, yeah, I'll do a little plug. WillCarterWriter.com. I have
Okay.
it. I have it featured up there. But it
Okay.
is. It was for me. It was more me processing than anything, and it
Mhm.
was. You know what though? I said, Ellie. What did happen to your daddy showed him that he can persevere. He can
Mhm.
beyond.
Absolutely.
And also, what your daddy knows is what I hope you know is that you have a God in heaven who's got you no matter what.
Mhm.
And I hope at the end of the day that you can see through my struggles the power of God in them. You
Hmm.
know.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you. And
That's beautiful.
all those,
That's beautiful. Hmm.
and because it's so because you see yourself, you see other dads
Mhm.
who are just who are doing things that are just like no problem, running after their kids,
Mhm.
throwing their kids up in the air, and it's like nothing.
Mhm.
And that's something that I'll never be able to do.
Well, every dad is different, though. You know,
Yeah,
there's no perfect way to be a dad. There's no manual, is it? Is there a manual to be a dad?
I hope not, because
Well,
I have not.
there's not one. So you have your own way of parenting, and so your way of parenting, I'm sure, is good enough for her. So I think it's beautiful. So
And that's what God has just
yeah.
put on me is that, like, the lessons that I have learned
Mhm.
from having a brain injury
Mhm.
are valuable lessons that I can teach my daughter.
Yes.
And those lessons are more valuable than any sort of physical thing that I can
Absolutely.
do for her. Um,
Absolutely.
and yeah, I mean, and right now, the kid, she's 19 months, so
Oh,
she's a toddler, so she's
mhm.
definitely learning perseverance. Uh,
Okay. Which is
not
great
in a
thing
good
to have.
way, trying to get what she wants.
Mhm.
I just keep trying. But
Mhm.
no, I mean, I hope that she has that same, and I hope to train and encourage and support that same fire that she's got now as
Mhm.
a toddler. I hope to keep that flame alive while she, you
I
know,
try to carry over. I try to carry over into her adult life, and actually, what she's learning now about you is going to help her build her character even more. So when she sees other people that has different abilities than she does, she won't be afraid. She won't be like, oh my god. She won't be like, it'd be, oh okay. So I've been through this before, so I can help you. And then it's a domino effect. So that's wonderful.
and she will
Wonderful.
hopefully never, um, I have to make anyone feel. My hope is that through having me as a dad, she'll never make anyone feel bad for being different.
Yeah, exactly. So she see her dad, she see her struggle. So she'll have the empathy for somebody else.
Yeah,
I believe she will. So
no, we're gonna claim it.
yeah, that's
We're gonna
absolutely.
claim it.
So I believe she will. Yeah, I believe she will. Yeah, you're doing a good job. So hold on to that. Hold
Well,
on to that.
thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
Um,
So, what fun activities do you enjoy doing? Like, what fun things do you like doing?
what fun things do I like doing? Well, I there are lots of fun things that I enjoy doing that at some point I will have time to do. Uh,
Okay.
and I
Time, right? Where's the
yeah,
time?
yeah, it's fun. Oh, it's fun. But
Where's
you
the
know,
week?
as a dad, and as an educator, it's hard.
Hmm.
But I mean, I mean, the thing that I do, I guess, in some ways, well, I try to treat it like a job, but it is also incredibly fulfilling for me. Is writing. I love writing,
Hmm. Ditto.
and at some point, I will read as well. Um, no, I read all the time. Just it's usually
Mhm.
for work. English professor. Well,
Right.
but is I love to read, and then I obviously just I mean spending time with my wife and my daughter is a joy.
Hmm.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
And so like for me that is my life, and the other thing for me is like it's gonna sound crazy, but like my job is pretty fun too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
It's rewarding.
well, no, it's the no, because it's the thing is like I get to I can't believe I get to do it uh,
Hmm.
for five classes, 2 days a
Oh,
week.
wow. Wow.
I get to stand up and I get to encourage, support, build
Yeah, support their
relationships
lives.
with these students, and I mean, and I'm cracking jokes too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course. Of course you will.
I'm cracking handicap jokes at myself all day long. Uh, my students always are uncomfortable when my phone goes off at first. I don't know. Did I tell you that in our interview?
I don't think so.
So my ringtone, a student sang this to me once when I taught high school, and I was like, I love that. I'm stealing that. My ringtone is the opening lines to "Thinking Out Loud" by Ed Sheeran. So,
Oh,
so
maybe
it goes, when your legs don't work like they
what
used
they
to
used to
before.
before. Yeah.
Uh, and like it's great. It's like students are like, "Is that okay to laugh?" And I was like, "Guys, you got to learn." And I do that. I do that for two reasons. One, it's a joke at myself, but two, I want them to know like I'm comfortable with this. You can talk to me.
Hmm. Yeah.
We don't have to pretend that I'm not disabled.
Hmm. It's
Like
okay. Hmm.
it's
It's
okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, for me, my job is a joy. Um,
So how soon after you introduced you to go back to work? How soon after?
well, so I had my injury when I was 17. Uh,
Okay.
so work for me at that time would be finishing school, and December of that year. I have a great mom who's very,
Hmm.
and not I'm sarcastic sometimes, not said sarcastically, mom. In case you're wondering, uh, no, it's a great mom. She was like, he's gonna graduate," and so in December of that year, when I got home after Shepherd, I had tutoring in physics.
Okay.
I had work to do for PE, and then when I went back to school, I had three classes, and I had to do economics, physics, literature. I finished the PE; it wasn't too bad, but
Hmm.
then I I also I had injuries, so I worked my tail off,
Hmm.
and I was able to go back and finish, and then I went to college that fall. So it wasn't that far away. And then I guess I got my first job my freshman year, after my first job after my accident,
Hmm.
the spring semester of my freshman year. It was a data entry job. I don't think I could have done like waiting tables or anything.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I was assistant to the director of institutional research. I know I just keep shouting people out, but I got good people in my life. Janet Maddox,
What's wrong with
if she ever
it?
watches this, glorious boss and a glorious woman. Um, yeah, and then I guess I got, and then my first job after that, my summer of my sophomore year, and then God has been blessing me
Mhm.
um, ever since.
I love that. So, do you have any goals you still want to accomplish?
So for I guess personal goals, I'd love for my wife and I to get a house.
Yeah.
I'd love for us to have another one.
Okay.
Uh, and don't worry, she wants that too. So
Okay.
we're okay.
No,
Uh,
you want to core. You want to core.
one accord, exactly. Very, very important. Very, very important.
Yeah, that's what it definitely is.
But so that, and then I mean, I just to keep. I mean, I would love to be what's a senior lecturer, which is like a step up from what I am.
Hmm.
Uh, and I would love, and this is so silly, and it's a silly dream, and it's kind of feels silly even saying it out loud, but it would be to be on slash meet Mr. Stephen Colbert. Uh,
Put it out there. Put it out there.
yeah, I'm putting it out there.
Ask you shall receive. That's the Bible says,
Yeah,
right?
it shall happen. It shall
Ask
happen.
you shall receive. If you believe it, it shall happen.
It shall happen. I mean, and I'll say it for me, it's one because he's hilarious, but two,
Mhm.
I love, and I mentioned it here. He's a man who is in the spotlight, who is a Christian, who has been through such trauma and pain,
Mhm.
and has lived out his faith
Mhm.
honestly and truly, and has really, for me, shown a lot of encouragement.
Okay.
And so he's kind of like the hero. So I'd be like, not just because he's hilarious,
Mhm.
that is a component. Uh, but now that's the dream. And so for me though, I mean, I I'm I'm living the dream, you
Yes,
know.
you are. I feel
Yeah.
the same way. Yeah, I agree. And what's his name one more time?
Oh, Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert. I'm gonna reach out to him.
Yeah, somebody make it happen.
Stephen Colbert.
Anybody who knows Stephen Colbert, let's make it
Yeah,
happen.
I want it. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
thank you,
want it.
thank you.
So, what advice would you give to my last question? What advice would you give to or a new survivor in our family?
I would give
Or
the
what do you to the what should you so the family of the survivor, or having a word or directed to the person? What do
I
you say?
guess I would the advice I would give to a new survivor is that the advice that I regularly I guess give, which is to start sharing your story, because I feel like the moment I started sharing my story, I took away my injury's power over
Hmm,
me.
I love that.
The Because it was this thing that was like it had limited my life and had sort of defined me in a negative way.
Hmm.
It was this thing I was running from, this thing that I didn't want any part of. I wanted to get reconstructive surgery for my ear. I wanted to get rid of my limp. I wanted no one to know that I had a brain injury. That was my goal. As long as no one can know. If they couldn't tell, that would be great.
Hmm.
And that was the most damaging thing for my mental health and sense of self.
Not
Um,
accepting your full self. I got yeah.
is what? I'm sorry,
It's a
Lana.
not accepting your full self.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this full self has a brain injury. I
Yeah.
do. And so my advice would be share your story. Start sharing your story, because then not only will you start to love and accept yourself, but you will give such a gift to others
Hmm.
that you will understand why you have this injury.
Yes, I agree, and I would say it's definitely healing too. It's lethargic, to release it and get out off of you, and then just put it out there, just get it off your chest. It's
Yeah,
also definitely it's very therapeutic. So,
yeah, because it used to be like a dark secret.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
Get to anybody, Yeah,
yeah, and it's like please don't see that I'm disabled. Please don't see that I'm disabled.
yeah. Don't be ashamed of it. Yeah, embrace it.
Yeah,
Embrace it.
because it's who you are.
It is.
And I think the thing is now that I start sharing my story, you talk about what is the benefit.
Mhm.
Again, I'll give him a shout out again, Mr. AVM Superhero. He says, and I'll also say this, because I want to celebrate others too. I know you are on this too. At Mindfulness Veterans, Mr. James Jimenez said it as well. Superpower.
Mhm.
Once you start sharing your story, you're going to realize, oh, my injury is my superpower.
That's right. Mm-hmm. They were sure to say that. I think it says, what's your superpower? Mine is brain injury, something like that.
Yes.
Something like that. As a teacher that says that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. I mean, like, so it's my superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes us more empathetic. I think it makes
Mm-hmm.
us stronger.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I mean, and so I would say share your story, and you can find out that you have superpower.
And that's powerful. And I love that. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, this has been so fun, so enlightening, so
Absolutely.
encouraging, so inspiring. Like, I'm full. So, thank you for that. Thank you for your time. Tell everybody how we can stay in contact with you, how they can reach out to you.
Well, and first off, and I'll just say thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely.
And thank you for what you do. Thank you for your continued work. Like I said, you're doing awesome stuff.
Thank you.
And so I'm very honored and happy to be here.
Snap.
But you can stay in contact with me. I said side effects of a brain injury is going to be my Instagram. You can follow me there. If you want to see my writing, you can go to willcarterwriter.com. And then, like I said, at some point, I'm hoping this year. I mean, well, I'm not. Maybe not this year. Maybe early next year. We'll see. Fingers crossed. That we're going to be that we'll have a book, Getting Better by Springer Mountain Press. Give it a look. But thank you, Erica. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Uh-oh. Happened. But, there you go.
There we are.
Did you do that or did I do that? If I did, I'm sorry.
I think you did that, but that's okay.
I don't know how, because I'm not even on the screen, but okay.
Well,
I'm trying to type in willcarter.com. Let me see. I'm gonna
Will Carter Writer.
I just do this. So I got your Instagram already. So let's do this one more time. So make sure you follow Will on IG and side effects of a brain injury. And also visit his site. That's right. I know what had happened. Will Carter. Is it willcarter.com?
willcarterwriter.com.
willcarterwriter.com.
Hopefully one day I can be successful enough to buy willcarter.com.
willcarterwriter.com. Is that right? Okay.
You got it.
And visit willcarterwriter.com to see what is going on in works and things like that, and keep up with him and keep with his journey and writing journey and blogs and whatever else he has going on.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Your book title?
Getting Better.
Getting Better. And you don't know when it's going to be out, but we just put it out there for.
Just put it out. Getting Better. It's going to be out with Springer Mountain Press.
Okay. I hope you got that out too. Getting Better by Will Carter.
Oh yeah.
Boom! There it is. Just like that.
Thank you very much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this has been real fun, and you all, thank you all for tuning in and watching. This has been another episode of TBI UNcovered Season 2. See y'all later. Tune in next week to the episode. Bye. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Will.
Absolutely. Thank